So, just want to have a moment of real talk, I guess. Nothing super serious. It was just something I noticed the other day. So, we've been doing training for my work. It's been crazy. We're switching our entire platform over to a new system, and my day job is insane right now. We're horribly short-staffed, and the industry is just miserable at this moment in time. Anyway, besides the point. So point being, I was over in a nearby town for the morning training, and midday I had to drive back to the office. And as I'm driving, of course, I'm noticing all the little plants and everything, and we did it for the whole week. So one of the times while I was driving, I noticed this huge, I gotta guess, at least 5 feet tall, as tall as me, bush next to the road of yellow yarrow, which works a lot the same way as normal white yarrow, and beautiful, fully bloomed, absolutely gorgeous. And then the last day I'm driving, there's a lady on the side of the road, and she's got a little backpack on, and she's got a box, and she was sitting there clipping the yarrow. And maybe because I'm an herbalist, my first thought is oh, she's an herbalist too. She's picking it for tinctures or whatever. That might not be. I will, kind of disclaimer that she might not be an herbalist. I don't know her. I have no idea. She could be a florist, and in which case this is totally fine. If she's making bouquets or something that's not a consumable. Because my immediate concern as a herbalist was oh God, don't pick there. She was right on the side of the road on a very, very busy highway, and herbs there's tons. You could be driving everywhere and see herbs just one after the other. They love roadsides. Problem is you should not pick those herbs from the roadsides. Not only do you have a lot of just dust and exhaust and things from the cars clinging to the outside of the plants, but you have a lot of heavy metals and oil coming off into that soil that's right next to the road, and the herbs consume those. It's highly recommended, at least, I always err on far more, but at least 100 feet away from any busy road. I would say any road in general. I don't even pick right off of a dirt road, no matter how far up I am, unless it's a logging road that has been closed for a long time and there's just nothing driving up and down that. So it's worth knowing, it's worth being cautious, it's worth knowing the kind of I'm not gonna really say etiquette, but it's etiquette if you're making something that you intend to give to others or sell. You really, really don't want to be consuming those herbs, no matter how big, no matter how beautiful they are, no matter how many there are. You can find, I promise you can find the same herbs further up in the mountains, further off the road, someplace where they're not getting sprayed. Because I know, over in Washington, even the blackberries, you do not want to be harvesting those right next to the road. I've seen people do it, but they spray those, especially if they're near a main roadway, because they want to control them. The Himalayan blackberries are highly invasive, so as beautiful as they are, I know those berries taste great. I know the herbs are wonderful. Just please don't do it. Just don't. And I know folks that live in the city, you really want to harvest. I would take a day trip out of town, or go deep into a park, but even then be careful because city parks, they spray and they control those plants that they see as wild or invasive. They might be native plants, but if they're not the park's aesthetic, they're going to try and control them and maintain them however they can. And it's just not good for us to consume, especially when we're trying to be healthy by using herbs. So you just, please be careful when, harvesting your herbs. Be conscious of where. I always go deep in the woods. The herbs I gathered last weekend, we were probably almost 5 miles deep up a logging road, way up in there. And then another half-mile hike. So, you can find good herbs. And plus, the fact that, you going out to find them gets you deep into nature and away and out, and it gives your system a reset. It's healthy for you to go for a long hike, to experience nature, true wild nature, and, connect with the trees, the earth, the animals, every part of that ecosystem, because you're part of it too. And to remember that we are nature, and it's instinctual for everyone, no matter who you are. So it's worth it on multiple levels. So it was just a thought that, was spurred by seeing someone out there. Like I said, she might have been a florist. She might have been someone who was just gathering those blooms for a table setting or a wedding, something, because they're pretty flowers. But it did, reminded me of something that's worth talking about, especially because I have seen people harvesting berries right on the side of the road and other things that's, you just don't want that in your body. So, hope you all have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Just be conscious of where you're getting your herbs from, and if you're getting herbs from someone else, be conscious of how they harvest them, where they get them, and just watch out for your own health. We all have to be our own advocate, for our health. So, just have a great night all.